My name is Malcolm Coates. I am from South Bend, Indiana, and I drive a 2014 Nissan Leaf. I live in an apartment, so I generally charge at free charging stations. So I use the chargers provided by the city, and I work at the University of Notre Dame where they have quick chargers as well on campus that I use usually when I'm at work. Well, if I was completely out, it would take about an hour and a half to get me to almost full. So usually I'd say 2 hours, usually to top off. Well, I was completely ignorant to EVs. I liked the price and the mileage on the car, and so that's why I purchased it. I am now a big fan. I found the car at CarMax, which is located in Maryville, Indiana, which is about an hour and a half away from South Bend, which is where I live. And so I went, purchased the car in the evening, and started driving home because they said they charged it up completely for me, which they did. I did not realize that you had to pay attention to distance and things of that nature with the car, and so I was only able to make it to LaPorte, Indiana on the charge I had. This was the middle of winter, and so I was able to pull off, and luckily the city of LaPorte has a public charging unit. They kind of make fun of me, except when it comes to talking about the fact that I don't buy gas. And so when they're complaining about gas, I generally will quip back, yeah, I don't really think about what the gas prices are. My son, for instance, is constantly saying, Dad, are you going to get another car? Mostly because I have to rent cars when I go out of town or anywhere, outside of my range. And so, he's got a little annoyed by that. But yeah, that's generally the case. Little innocent ribbing about me being an EV owner. I liked the price. I liked the low mileage. Once I became an EV owner, I realized, oh, the low mileage is because you can't really go that far in an electric vehicle, at least an older one. So mine's a 2014. So, I generally stay local or in the region, Elkhart, Plymouth, Michigan City, areas like that. So that's what I enjoyed, the low mileage and the price. Since I've been an owner, I am sold. I love it. I figured out how to stay charged up, and so I can't see myself going back to a combustion engine. The two main things I would say is find out where quick chargers are. That's a worthwhile investment of your time. And the second thing I would say is planning. There have been times, and it was usually early on, it rarely happens to me anymore, where I did not plan out my day. So, you come home at night, you have 20 miles left, and you don't remember that you got things to do first thing in the morning. So that bit me a couple of times where I really had to scramble or cancel some things. And so I've gotten much better about really thinking about, especially as my day ends, hey, what's on the docket for tomorrow? Do I need to go charge? You know what I mean? So yeah, planning is important. I played about 10,000, I think it was 10.5, and everything, and that's what I was looking for, something, past like 2010 at the time. I didn't want it, past 10 years old, but the other cars that I looked at were much more expensive, or if they were in the same price range, had a lot more miles on them. So that's gave me concern. So, more charging stations. If that would be possible. So there's two right by the county city building. There's two more around Howard Park, which is another city property. And two more just came in recently that I discovered, which is at Century Center, which I think is city. Well, I'm not completely sure, but it would be great if it could expand a little more, because, for instance, I would say the one by the County City building, and I've noticed it doesn't matter what day of time anymore. Sometimes cars park there and they leave their cars there, and it is hard to get in. So just more charging stations. I know my employer, the University of Notre Dame, has added more to the university because we have the same thing. People continue to buy these EVs, and now we're all fighting for the same charging station. So I would love to see additional charging stations, throughout the city. South, I don't know that there are any south of town. At least if there are, I haven't found them. I guess the only one I can think of south is at a car dealership. And you know, with car dealerships, you know, they don't necessarily want you on their property trying to charge. So really, if you could stretch out, you know, some south, some north, east, west, instead of just having them, you know, at, well, I mean, even city-owned property, if it's away from the downtown area, would be great, just to give us more options. So, yeah.